Okay, so last time we did 3, 4. We're going to start with 3, 5. Okay, the only difference is we're going to be solving equations now that have a distributive property in them. Okay, you've done the distributive property, you just haven't done it in an equation yet. Okay, so that's what we're going to do first. Okay, does anybody remember the word that I gave you to solve equations? PEMDAS, that's order of operations, but how about solving an equation? It's 3 letters.
Sam.
Yeah, Sam. Okay, so you guys already have the steps.
Yeah, you already have it on your reference sheet.
Simplify. Okay, under simplify, you always do these 2 steps in this order. Distributive property first, then combine like terms. This is going to be the first time you've done distributive property. After you've simplified, then we do our adding and subtracting. Okay, and then we finish up with multiplying and dividing. Okay, so let's look at an example. Okay, so we have 3x plus 2, and then in parentheses, x plus 3 equals 12x. Okay, what would be my first step under the simplify? There is something we need to do. Savon?
Distribute 2.
Exactly. Distribute the 2. Can you tell me what that'll be?
3x plus 2x plus 6.
Yep.
Is 12x.
Now from here, it's just like a problem you had last week.
You're still in that first step. You're still in that simplify step, guys, right? So you did distributive. Go ahead, Tyler.
You can add the 3x and the 2x.
Good.
Yep.
Now, how come I couldn't do that? How come I couldn't combine with that 12, Tyler?
Because you still have 2 letters on one side.
Okay, but why couldn't I just I want to add 12. How come I can't do that?
Because it's on the other side of the equal sign.
Yeah. Remember, combine like terms, right, Elijah? They're going to be on the same side of the equal sign. You agree?
Yeah.
You sure? Okay. Thanks, man. Good looks.
So go ahead, Tyler. What's 3x plus 2x?
5x.
Okay, 5x plus 6. Okay, right now we've got all the numbers that don't have x's on the left. So we've got to put the numbers that do have x's somewhere else. Yep.
So you
Okay.
subtract the 5,
Subtract the
5x.
5x. Yep, very good. And what will that give me?
7x.
Okay. How about on the left side? What happens with 5x minus 5x? Yeah, that's gone. And then 12x minus 5x?
7x.
Perfect. And on my last step, how do I get x by itself? Let someone else give it a shot. About Katie?
You divide the 7x. Well, you divide the 7.
Yeah, just the 7. Just divide by 7, divide by 7. And we get x equals 6 sevenths. You can write 6 sevenths equals x or x equals 6 sevenths. Same thing.
Are we allowed to use calculators?
Yep, you can use a calculator. On this kind of problem, though, I would not be looking for a decimal. Just leave it as a fraction. All right, let's try this one together, and then I'm going to have you guys try one on your own. Okay, what do we have to be careful of here? First thing we're going to do, we're going to be very careful. Kayla?
-3 and the -5x.
Yeah, really important here is this -3. That's not a positive 3 you're distributing. That was good. She said -3. The sign to the left goes with the number, right? Now we'll do it. All right, so how about Austin? Can you tell me, what do I get when I distribute out?
You get -6
Yep, good, -6.
minus, well, no, plus,
Right, plus negative times negative.
Good job, buddy.
Good job.
plus 15x
Plus 15x
equals 40.
equals 40. Anything else we still have to do under simplify? Well, Laura? Anything else we still have to do on the same side before we start moving stuff from side to side?
8x.
Yep, we can combine those. What's 8x plus 15x? Yep, 23x. Okay, so we have 23x minus 6 equals 40. 2 steps left. Anybody give me my next step? Yep, we're gonna add 6. So we get 23x equals, what's 40 plus 6? Go ahead, Chelsea. 46. And now my last step. How do I get x alone? Joe?
46, yeah, 23 divided by 46,
You're gonna divide each side by what?
23.
23, perfect. All right. And what does that give you? What's 46 divided by 23?
2.
2. Right, so x equals 2. All right.
Good job, guys.
So why don't you guys try this one on your own? Okay, give this one a shot.
Okay, guys, we don't like the way it's set up. We talked about that last week, what you can do. All right, so guys, like we said last week, right? You didn't have to do it, but if you wanted to in this problem, what could you do? What could you do with this? Because it showed up first. What, Tyler?
Put the equals.
Take it, move to the end, right? So 5x. 5x plus 3, 4 minus x equals 12. And all I did was just rewrite it. What I like to do, guys, I like to circle a number that's with the sign, that's outside the parentheses, and also inside the parentheses, so I don't make any mistakes, all right? Justin, what am I going to get here when I do my distributive property? Well, what's 3 times 4? Huh? Yeah. If they're both positive, your answer is going to be what? If they're both positive, your answer is going to be what? Positive, right? I knew you were thinking that. So plus the 12, and then 3 times negative x. What am I going to get? Who could tell me? Negative 3x. When I was walking around, Dominic made a good point. He goes, Mr. Roy, I can just put a 1 there if I want. I said, yeah, absolutely, man. You're fine. You can do that. All right. Then I'm going to bring everything else down. Samantha Mans, what's my next step? Well, on my thing, right, we had simplified first. And on the simplified it said distribute, then there was another step in that simplified piece. You remember what it was? Go ahead, Matt.
You have to like combine the exponents.
Not the exponents, but the
Or
variables, right?
variables,
Or the like terms, right? What are my like terms, Matt?
5x and negative 3x.
Nice, I like how you said negative 3, right? 5x and negative 3x. What would you get, Matt?
Are you?
Just subtracting. 5 minus 3.
So 2x.
2x. Everything else comes down, right? Plus 2x equals 12. All right? Am I in good shape, Mr. Hager? You give me a look like Mr.
You said it wrong.
Oh, I said it wrong. It's
Yeah, you
Friday.
said plus 2x.
It's Monday afternoon, guys. Okay, give me some slack.
Leave them alone.
You, Johnson, watch it. All right? Katie, what do I do now? From where? Here and where else? The other side, right? Gone, right? Equal sign. What's on this side, guys?
2x.
2x equals
0.
Joseph. Last step.
Do x.
When the 2 is next to the x, what does that mean? What kind of math operation? You want to do division, but what does it mean? Multiplication. So we're going to do the opposite, right? 5 by 2. 5 by 2. X equals what, Joe?
0.
So again, guys, if you're not sure on the steps, look at the sheet we did last week. All the steps are on there if you're not sure. Like, Sam, you're on the right track. Use your reference sheet. We're not going to take any points off. Right? It's for you guys to use.
Okay, so some of the equations we take a look at, they're going to have distributive property, but they're going to have it in 2 spots. The only difference with this equation is instead of doing distributive property once, you're going to do it twice. But just do one at a time. Okay? Now, we're going to be careful here. When you have a minus in front of a parenthesis, what can you put in there if you want to put a number so you can see what you're distributing? The book's not going to write it with that number, but it might help to put it in. Matt? 1. So now you can see you're distributing a -1. Okay? All right, so let's do that out. How about Spencer? What's -1 times 4?
Negative 4.
-4. Okay, and Justin? Next part here, we have -1 times -2y. What's a negative times a negative? Positive. So -1 times -2y is positive 2y. That make sense? Positive 2y? All right. How about on the other side? How about Austin? What are we going to get when we distribute there?
You're at 21
Perfect. 3 times 7 is 21. Good.
plus 6y.
Plus 6y. Okay, before we start moving stuff left to right, we got to decide if there's anything we need to combine on one side. All right, how about Ben? Anything I can do on the left-hand side?
6y and 2y.
Yeah, I have 6y plus 2y, which is how much? 8y. Minus 4. And for now, just keep the other side, 21 plus 6y. Okay, what do I do next? How about Emma? Is there any addition or subtraction we could do to try to get all the numbers without y on one side?
Add 4 against it.
Yeah, good. Add 4 to both sides. Okay, if we add 4 on the left, that cancels. And 21 plus 4 gives me 25. So now we got all the numbers without y on the right. We're going to put all the numbers with y on the other side. Okay, so what would I do next, Kayla?
Subtract 6 from 8y.
Subtra-
Subtract 6y from 8y.
Yes, subtract 6y. Good job, I like how you said that. What's 8y minus 6y?
2y.
2y.
And divide that by 27.
And divide each side by what?
Uh,
2. Yep. Does 2 go into 25?
no, so you have to put this a fraction.
So we'll just leave it as a fraction. You don't need to write a decimal, just 25 over 2. Okay, not all your answers are going to come out nice. That's fine. Okay, any questions on that? Let's try this one. Okay, if we have time, we'll go back and we'll try a different one. But this time you've got to set up the equation. I want to try to set it up together, and then I want you guys to try to solve it. So it says, let's read it first. If Jim's age is decreased by 9, so if you do that, and then take that whole difference and multiply it by 8, the result is, that's going to be an important word, result is 48. Find Jim's age. Okay, let's start with the first part. Jim's age decreased by 9. Well,
Subtracted by 9.
it's something you're going to subtract 9. Okay? Since we don't know Jim's age, what would be a good variable? Sure, you could pick X, you could pick J for Jim, anything you want. Okay, let's use J for Jim. So let's write that down. Let J be Jim's age. Okay, so can somebody tell me how that's going to be set up? Jim's age decreased by 9. How would you write that? Yeah, Tyler? J minus 9. Okay. Now it says that difference, that whole difference, is multiplied by 8. Okay, here's where it gets a little tricky. This entire thing is multiplied by 8. Not just the J, not just the 9, the whole thing. So what do I got to do here? Matt?
You can put parentheses around it and put 8 on one of the sides.
Perfect. That's exactly what you have to do. Put parentheses around it and put the 8 in front, just like Matt said. If you didn't put parentheses around it, then you wouldn't be multiplying the difference by 8. You'd be multiplying just the J. Like if you wrote this, that's wrong. Didn't say Jim's age is multiplied by 8. It said the difference, that whole difference is multiplied by 8. Okay, so we get the left-hand side. Now it says the result is 48.
So it equals 48.
Yeah, is means equals 48. Okay. Now we need to solve it. This one actually isn't as bad to solve. All right, so how do we solve it? What do we have to do on the left? Yeah, go ahead. Distribute. What's 8 times J? How about Elijah? 8J, good. 8 times, okay, as Mr. Roy showed you, circle that symbol that goes to the left of the number. 8 times negative 9. Yeah, Isaiah. Perfect. Negative 72. Okay, 2 steps left. You would think they see the next step. Chelsea? Add 72. Those cancel. And here's where if you need your calculator, you can use it, or let's just try to add them up. 8 and 2 gives me 10. 4 and 1 is 5. 5 plus 7 is 12. What's still on the left-hand side, though? 8J. Yeah, Jim's not 120, right? What do we have to do? Divide by 8. He could be. In this case, he's not, though. 120 divided by 8. Let's just use our calculator. 15. So Jim is 15. That's his age. Okay, any question on that? All right, let's try one more word problem. Okay, we're going to help you set it up, but then I want you guys to try to solve it on your own. Okay, this is a tricky one to set up, so that's why we're going to help you out. Okay, let's just look at it step by step. Okay, it's about a phone call. And what I'm going to do, instead of writing it in cents, let's put it in dollars. That's the same as 21 cents. It says the long distance rate to call Iowa is 21 cents for the first minute. Okay, that's what you pay for the first minute. And then you pay 15 cents, so it gets a little cheaper, for each minute after that. Okay? It says Judy's call to Iowa was $1.11. We'll determine how long she was on the phone for. All right, first thing is I'm not even going to worry about this last part. Judy's call to Iowa. That's going to come in at the very end. I just want to worry about the first 4 lines. You pay 21 cents for the first minute, and then you pay 15 cents for each minute after that. Okay, so let's see if we can just come up with an equation for how much the phone call costs. Okay, what do you pay for the first minute? We're going to come up with a formula for the total cost. The first minute is how much? Yep, 21 cents, or $0.21. Okay, if you did this problem in cents, that's okay too. But we're doing it in dollars. So this is the first minute. Now, is there anything else you need to pay for other than the first minute?
Yes.
Yeah, what else do you pay for? Yeah, each additional minute. So we need to set up the cost for each additional minute. Okay, so that's the cost for the first minute, each additional minute. Do you pay the 21 cents over and over?
No.
No, you pay it one time. How about the 15 cents?
Yeah, over and over.
You pay it over and over. Okay? If you talked for 5 minutes, how many times would you pay it?
5 times.
No, you wouldn't pay it 5
4
times.
times.
You only pay it 4. That's the key. Because you've already paid for the first minute separate. What if you talked for 8 minutes? How many times would you pay the 15 cents? Just 7. Okay, this is the key. You don't pay each additional minute. You pay, it's like 1 less. So if you talk for 10 minutes, how many times would you pay each additional minute?
9.
Only 9 times. Okay? So if m is the number of minutes, and each time it's only 1 less than how many I talk, how would I represent that here? If m is the total minutes, and I want 1 less than m. Yeah, m minus 1. Okay? And what do you pay for each additional minute? How much? 15 cents, or 0.15. Okay, this is the trick right here. That's the tricky part. So if you talk for 50 minutes, you're only going to pay 50 minus 1, or 49 minutes at 15 cents. And then you already paid for the first minute separate, 21 cents. Okay? So this is a little tricky, but that's the part I wanted to help you with. Now we have this $1.11. Where does that $1.11 going to go in this whole equation? That's a total cost. Okay, so let's fill that in, and then we'll have you guys try to solve it.
Again, guys, with the decimals, if you want to use a calculator, that's fine.
But that's the tricky part right there, that m minus 1 in parentheses. Okay, so try to solve it. Okay, if you want to use a calculator, I would definitely recommend it. But this isn't even the hardest equation we've done today. There's no double distributive here. You only got to do distributive 1 time. Okay, so give that a shot. First thing you have to do is your distributive property. What's 0.15 times m? 0.15 times m gives me 0.15 m. 0.15 times -1. Okay? If you're not sure, use your calculator. -0.15. Okay? Let's combine our like terms on the right-hand side. This is 20, think of this as 21 cents. Take away 15 cents. What's 21 cents? Take away 15 cents. How about Matt? 21 cents, take away 15. Six. 6 cents. Okay, guys, next step. Subtract 0.06 from each side. Okay? So 1.11 minus 0.06 leaves you with 1.05, and then finish up by dividing by 0.15. Again, just use your calculator for all this. 7 minutes. Okay, if you need to look at that again a little bit slower, it'll be on the internet for you tonight. Okay, so your homework is on page 107.
Right in your agenda or somewhere in your notebook.
2 through 18 even, and 19 through 23 all.